Here with more, U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Judge Jeanine Pirro, friend of the program. Young punks. So you can't, so a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kid shoots somebody. You can't do a thing. Somebody gets convicted of shooting something, they get probation and a lecture to go to college.
Yes, unfortunately, Sean, and it's good to see you again. That is my experience, and that is what the D.C. Council, which is passing the laws that pretty much control the district here. And the President Trump has rightfully declared an emergency crisis of crime and deployed the National Guard, the ATF, the DEA, the FBI, so that criminals know now that we see them, we are watching them, and we're going to make them accountable. But make no mistake, Sean, this is just the beginning. Today was, as the president called it, Liberation Day. But we are now in the process of bringing to the attention of law-abiding citizens, not just in D.C., but throughout the country, that we're not going to tolerate crime that is out of control in the nation's capital. This is the shining city on the hill that our forefathers talked about. This is the place where Ronald Reagan talked about looking up to. And in the end, it is an incredibly violent area. And, you know, whether crime is up or down, you know, they want to pat themselves on the back and say, gee, it's great. It's not as bad as it used to be. It is horrific. And the reason that press room today, and the president commented on it, was so packed is because those reporters in that room, and it was packed to the gills, experienced crime themselves. And some of the questions had to do with that very thing. We've got an area where criminals are emboldened for a variety of reasons. They know these young gangs, or as they're called here, crews, they know that if they're 14, 15, 16, or 17, they are below the age of criminal responsibility unless they commit the crime of murder, rape one, armed robbery, or burglary in the first degree. And that means if you shoot someone and they don't die, I don't even get the case as a prosecutor. And understand, I'm not just the federal prosecutor, I'm the local DA, so to speak, here for D.C. All of these cases go to family court, the 14 through 17-year-olds. And those cases go to family court where the focus is rehabilitation. And they talk about ice cream socials and yoga. And even if they're 19 and I get them in my court and I get a conviction, go on a bus with an illegal gun, a bus that's full of people and a family, you take a gun and you shoot someone in the chest, we get the conviction, we take it all the way, the judge says, you know, I'm going to give you probation because the D.C. Council has given him that right. And so we've got to repeal these laws of the left-leaning D.C. Council, one member of whom I just indicted recently, and we've got to make this place safe for the people in the district. And it's not just because of the kid who worked for Doe's recently, who was mugged by 12 and 13-year-olds and 14 and 15-year-olds. It's not just because of the intern who got shot and caught and killed in the middle of crossfire in a decent area of D.C., or the intern who went out for McDonald's at 10:30 and who ends up getting shot, or the kids from the Israeli embassy who get shot and killed. I mean, this is a regular course of conduct. And unless and until we get our hands on them, and unless and until we have the ability to punish them, they are emboldened and they are laughing at us.
What about other cities, violent cities, Chicago and New York City and L.A. and other cities that have defund, dismantled no bail laws?
Well, look, our murder rate is like 5 times at least higher than New York City. We've got one of the highest murder rates in the country. We were the 4th largest a couple years ago. It continues. And what we've got here are people that are not even making complaints about the quality of life crimes, whether it's shoplifting or damaging property or an attempt at a carjacking. They don't even call the police. We're not even seeing most of the crime that's occurring. And the clearance rate on homicides, Sean, is a joke. These cases are not being solved. And so the message is, if you want to commit a crime, do it in D.C., because they're not going to solve the case. Bring in someone younger to commit the crime, and we'll end up letting you go because the U.S. attorney can't get her hands on you. That's all going to change under President Trump. We're going to make D.C. safe, and we're going to make it beautiful again. And make no mistake, this president has a constitutional right to protect the people in this district and to make us safe. And until he came along, it was just going along and, oh, yeah, maybe it got a little better this year, but it's never good enough. It's never peaceful enough. And that's the problem with D.C. and these apologists who say, oh, we're not as bad as we used to be. Nonsense. It's time for us to get rid of crime and make criminals accountable. And that D.C. council, those laws that they pass are absurd. They are defense-oriented, they are criminal-focused, and the criminals know it.
You know, we miss you here at Fox, but I know this is where your heart, your passion, and your real purpose is, and what you were born to do. We appreciate you coming back. We miss having you here at Fox. Thank you for the good job you're doing. Judge, thank you. Appreciate it.